Good afternoon, and welcome to a meeting of the Chesapeake School Board. A printed agenda is available in the back of the room. If you wish to follow the business items we'll be discussing this evening. Roll call, Dr. Smith.
Mr. Elijah Colon,
Here.
Miss Malia Huddle,
Here.
Mr. John McCormick,
Here.
Mr. Norman Poole,
Mr. Poole is absent this evening.
Dr. Amanda Quillen,
Here.
Mrs. Angie Swigert,
Here.
Mrs. Amanda Walker,
Here.
Mr. Mike Lamonia, Vice Chair,
Here.
Mrs. Kim Scott, Chair.
Here. The next item is the adoption of the agenda. Does the superintendent or any board member wish to add or delete an item from the agenda?
Madam Chair, no items to add to the agenda, but we will need a closed session as required to discuss personnel matters, student matters, legal matters, and safety matters.
I'll entertain a motion for approval. Moved by Ms. Huddle. Is there a second? Seconded by Mr. Lamonia. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. All opposed? Dr. Smith.
Motion carries with all board members present voting yes.
We will now go into the closed portion of our meeting. I'll ask Vice Chair Lamonia to read the language to take us into closed session.
Chair Scott, I move that the board should convene in closed session pursuant to the Code of Virginia, Section 2.2-3711, subsections A1, A2, A8, and A19, for the following purposes: discussion and consideration of personnel matters, including candidates for the position of superintendent and other administrative appointments, student disciplinary matters, consultation with legal counsel regarding open meeting laws, and discussion of plans to protect public safety.
Is there a second? Seconded by Dr. Quillen. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Dr. Smith.
Motion carries with all board members present voting yes.
Before we move into closed session, and in accordance with bylaw 2-33, we will need a motion to approve the remote participation of VSBA Representative Samantha Bosserman and Sands Anderson attorney Nikki Chook, who will join us for the discussion in closed session. I'll entertain a motion for approval. It's moved by Mr. Lamonia. Is there a second? Seconded by Mr. Colon. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. All opposed? Dr. Smith.
Motion carries with all board members present voting yes.
All right, we are now in closed session. Vice Chair Lamonia, would you please read the statement to bring us back into open session?
Chair Scott, I move that the record shows that the only items discussed in the closed meeting were those specifically cited in the motion to convene into the closed meeting and those lawfully exempted from statutory meeting requirements.
Is there a second? Seconded by Mr. Colon. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Dr. Smith.
Motion carries with all board members present voting yes.
Dr. Cotton, do you have items resulting from closed session?
Yes, Madam Chair, thank you. I do have 3 students included in this motion that I would like to read together. Student number 42026E-1 and student E-2, as well as student E-3. I recommend that all 3 be expelled with services as discussed.
I'll entertain a motion for approval.
Motion made.
Moved by Mr. Lamonia. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. McCormick. Sorry, Mr. Cologne. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Dr. Smith.
Motion carries with all board members present voting yes.
I have one more. Madam Chair, I have a personnel recommendation that will require board approval. I'm recommending Mr. James Gunther from Teacher Specialist, Suffolk Public Schools, to Supervisor of Health, Physical Education, Driver Education, and Family Life, School Administration Building, effective July 1st, 2026.
I'll entertain a motion for approval. Moved by Mr. McCormick. Is there a second? Seconded by Mr. Colon. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Dr. Smith.
Motion carries with all board members present voting yes.
There being no additional action items resulting from the closed session, we will move on to the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance. At this time, I'd like to call upon Rabbi Israel Zoberman, who will give the invocation, and afterwards I'll ask Nathan Kirkpatrick, a 5th grader from Hickory Elementary School, to lead us in the pledge. Please stand as you are able.
And Mazel Tov, congratulations on this beautiful new setting. It's my first time here. The other place I visited for 40 years, so you have made lots of progress. Thank you for all your service. Adonai, our shared one God of the commandments of loving kindness, who is the source of all lights, spiritual and physical, bringing us together to be one caring family, gloriously diverse and gratefully united in our enchanting city of Chesapeake. These unsettling and challenging times of rising extremism and anti-Semitism we are duty-bound to acknowledge the supremacy of the sacred dimension of human rights, our ultimate safeguards against violation brought upon by tyranny. As one of the youngest survivors of the Holocaust European destruction of Jewry, losing hundreds of my own family, young and old, who perished among the 6 million, including 1.5 million children. It's so good to see so many children here. They are our promise, our treasure, and so hard to imagine. It's impossible to imagine that so many of us who were the promise of a better humanity are not here with us. I can attest to what happens when humans are deprived of their birthrights, with civilization and democracy soon turning into the subversion of all that we hold dear. May we together, guided by an inclusive agenda of embracing education, ideally serving as the enlightened conscience of a proud community, turn, not without challenge, turn pain to compassion and compassion to passion, passion into promise and division into vision, blemishes into blessings with Shalom's divine calling of healing, hope, and harmony for all of God's children, whose finite bodies are endowed by an infinite soul, so that prayerfully America's unique lights of freedom's both responsibility and privilege would continue to bring light to a dark world, ever moving us closer to a day, a new dawn of a world faithfully redeemed and refreshingly restored in the spirit of our biblical prophets, speaking truth to power while envisioning humanity at last at peace, enjoying the gifts of justice and truth, ever proclaiming that human dignity and God's divinity are one and indivisible. And let us say, Amen and God bless.
Please rise and remove your hats. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated.
Thank you, Rabbi, and thank you, Nathan. I love that you had everybody show some reverence by removing their hats. A fun fact about Nathan, he's accompanied tonight by his mother, his principal, and his teacher. He plays soccer, he likes to wrangle chickens, and he's an avid reader. So, Nathan, I think you're a really cool kid. Thank you for leading us tonight in the Pledge of Allegiance. All right, next on our agenda is the VHSL Winter Chesapeake Champions. Dr. Smith.
Thank you very much, Chair Scott. Tonight, we are excited to recognize several of our Winter Chesapeake champions, and at this time, I will turn the program over to Mr. Paul Wilson, who is our Director of Student Support Services. He'll be facilitating the awards for these students. Please welcome Mr. Wilson.
Good evening, Chair Scott, Vice Chair Lamonia, members of the school board, Dr. Cotton, and members of the superintendent's cabinet. Tonight, we are excited to celebrate the achievements and successes of the students and coaches in Chesapeake Public Schools who have earned all-state honors in the Virginia High School League this past winter. We will celebrate those students who were named all-state in VHSL wrestling, indoor track, swimming, and basketball, and even a state championship team in varsity wrestling. We will recognize these students and coaches in 3 different groups tonight, so let's get started. Our first group of students and coaches earned first, second, or third place in the VHSL Individual Wrestling State Tournament. The honor of being named a state champion, runner-up, or third-place competitor is noteworthy and speaks to the dedication and commitment of our student athletes. Students and coaches, please take one step forward when I call your name. From Deep Creek High School, we have Isaac Michalski, Class 5, second in the state, 138 pounds. We have Brady Bing, Class 5, second in the state, 165 pounds. The coach is Carl Cum. From Great Bridge High School, we have Caden Clark, Class 5, state champion at 106 pounds. Vince Vaughn Bernowitz, Class 5, state champion, 113 pounds. Xavier Kovacs, Class 5, second in state, 126 pounds. Aiden Christian, Class 5, third in the state, 175 pounds, and the coach is Steve Martin. From Hickory High School, we have Landon Warren, Class 5, third in the state, 106 pounds, and the coach is Dakota Thomas. From Grassfield High School, we have Nolan Mather, Class 6, state champion, 106 pounds. Hygen Castillo, Class 6, third in state, 113 pounds. Leland Mendez, Class 6, second in the state, 120 pounds. Lucas Chanelli, Class 6, third in the state, 132 pounds. Simeon Barrett, Class 6, second in the state, 144 pounds. Nicholas Moore, Class 6, third in the state, 165 pounds. Nathan Moore, Class 6, state champion at 175 pounds. Colton Jones, Class 6, third in the state, 190 pounds. Chase Burns, Class 6, second in the state, 215 pounds. And Christopher Funches, Class 6, state champion, 285 pounds. The coach is Patrick Schuler. And from Western Branch High School, we have Brandon Sinar, Class 6, first in state, state champion, 126 pounds. And the coach is Brandon Hardy. If there are any family members, staff members, coaches, or supporters that are in the audience to celebrate the accomplishments of these students and coaches, please stand at this time to be recognized by the board. Congratulations to our wrestling individual state champions, runner-ups, and third-place finishers and their coaches. It's now time for you to move to the right to meet the members of the school board. Our second group of students and coaches earned first, second, or third place in boys and girls VHSL indoor individual track and field, boys and girls swimming, and girls basketball. These decorated athletes trained, prepared, and competed all season long to take home all state honors. Students and coaches, since this is such a large group, just please raise your hand when I call your name. For the VHSL Boys Indoor Track Champions from Deep Creek High School, we have Trayvon Litton, Class 5, second in state in boys shot put, and the coach is Andre Twine. From Hickory High School, we have Daniel Mudd, Class 5, state champion in boys 1,000-meter run, Zachary Schubert, Class 5, second in state in boys 1,000-meter run, Tristan Fancher, Class 5, third in state in boys 1,600-meter run, Daniel Mudd, Zachary Schubert, Tristan Fancher, Tyler Trago, Class 5 state champions in the boys 4x800-meter relay. They also got a state record. And the coach is Judson Sarver. From Grassfield High School, we have Elijah Cherry, Landon Coleman, Jalen Foster, Nathaniel Harmon, who were in the Class 6, third in the state for boys 4x200-meter relay. And the coach is Leroy Harper. From Oscar Smith High School, Dante Dent, Class 6, third in the state in boys high jump. The coaches, Michelle Coleman and Destiny Ward. From Western Branch High School, we have James Craig, Class 6, state champion in boys shot put, and the coach is Keith Bailey. For VHSL boys swimming champions from Great Bridge High School, we have Carter Wachs, Class 5, second in the state in the 100-yard breaststroke, and third in the state in the 500-yard freestyle, and the coach is Gabrielle Ford. For the girls indoor track, we have from Deep Creek High School, Destiny Gatling, Class 5, state champion in girls long jump, and second in the state in girls high jump at the 55-meter dash, and the 55-meter dash. And we have the coach as Andre Twine. From Grassfield High School, Sophie Rambo, Class 6, state champion in girls 300-meter and girls 500-meter, and Emma Tiemann, Class 6, state champion in girls shot put. And the coach is Leroy Harper Jr. From Oscar Smith High School, we have Shakayla Lavender, Class 6, state champion in girls 55-meter hurdles. Marcel Brown, Class 6, second in the state in the girls high jump. And then Marcel Brown, Jayla Carruthers, Anisha Hall, Brianna Delbridge, Class 6, third in the state in girls 4x400 relay. And the coach is Stan Holloway. For swimming from Deep Creek High School, we have Sydney Hallbach, Class 5, state champion in the 1-meter dive, and the coach is Margaret LeMay. We see you, Sydney. And in girls basketball, All-State from Deep Creek High School, Morgan Herbert, Class 5, first team All-State, and the coach is William Sutton. If there are any family members, staff members, coaches, or supporters in the audience to celebrate the accomplishments of these students and coaches, please stand at this time to be recognized by the board. Congratulations to our indoor track and field, swimming, and basketball All-State athletes and their coaches. You can now move to the right to meet the members of the school board. Big group.
The smallest people everywhere we go.
That's right.
We're between the two tallest people here. Yeah, that's all I know.
State championships are looking good on you guys, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Beside me in Group 3, you will see the Grizzlies from Grassfield High School's wrestling team, a prominent program with a strong tradition of excellence. Under the leadership of head coach Dr. Patrick Schuler since 2019, the team has achieved significant milestones. Coach Schuler was himself a two-time Virginia State champion during his high school career, and along with his talented staff of assistant coaches, the Grizzlies' achievements and commitment to excellence have solidified Grassfield's well-deserved reputation as a powerhouse in the Virginia High School League wrestling. You may remember that these Grizzlies were honored during last year's school board meeting for their first state title. When the bar is set that high for a team, the only thing you can do to jump the bar is to win it again. And that's exactly what Grassfield did. We are in the presence of the VHSL Class 6 back-to-back state champions in varsity wrestling. Let's take a look at a brief video of highlights of this championship season for Grassfield High School.
You don't really want to focus on the opponent. You know, we focus on what we do.
I know I can speak for everyone in the room tonight when I say we are so proud of our Grizzlies. This is another large group, as you can see tonight, so students and coaches, please just raise your hand to be recognized when I call your name. This is the VHSL Class 6 Wrestling Team State Champions from Grassfield High School. Cairo Omega Barson Fernandez, Nicholas Barrett, Simeon Barrett, Isabel Balik, Elijah Berry, Jacob Bethal, Dennis Bruin, Chase Burns, Hygen Castillo, Brandon Early, Amir El-Bassioni, Christopher Funches, Brady Green, Jaden Hyman, Hunter Johnson, Colton Jones, Noah Lee, Nolan Mather, Romeo Mejia, Leland Mendez, Jack Miller, Nathan Moore, Nicholas Moore, Jonas Flans, Ethan Pline, Lucas Chanelli, Eli Seawood, James Sherlock, Sonora Schuler, Colby Tenorio, Liam Troiano, and the coach is Patrick Schuler. If there are any family members, staff members, coaches, or supporters in the audience to celebrate the accomplishments of these students and coaches, please stand at this time to be recognized by the board. Congratulations to our Class 6 VHSL Wrestling State Champions and their coaches. You can now move to the right to meet the members of the school board. Thank you, Madam Chair. This concludes my presentation for tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson. We will now move on to the hearing of citizens. We have, okay. Dr. Smith, do we have anybody here to speak?
Yes, Madam Chair, we have 6 citizens signed up to speak under hearing of citizens.
During their allotted time, speakers should observe our rules of decorum and know that expression of concerns and criticism on matters of school policy and operations is welcome. While the speaker's own comments are welcome, they may not play pre-recorded messages. I want to thank those speakers who signed up to address the board this evening. As a reminder, there are 2 ways that citizens can request time to speak at the meeting. You can call the clerk's office before 12 p.m. the day of the meeting, or sign up to speak prior to the start of the meeting. All in-person requests to speak must be submitted to the deputy clerk 5 minutes prior to the published meeting start time. Each speaker will have 3 minutes to address the board. Once your allotted time is over, we ask that you promptly exit the podium. We would also like to ask that you refrain from any behavior that disrupts the meeting, including the use of profanity, applause, cheering, or jeering. Dr. Smith, please call the first speaker.
Yes, I'd like to invite speaker number 1 to the podium. Speakers are called in numerical order and are asked to state their name and city of residence before they begin.
Good evening. My name is Jennifer Dean, and I live in Virginia Beach, but I am an employee of Chesapeake. Thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. I'm here to speak about some things I'd like you to consider when you make the choice for superintendent. As you consider your next superintendent, I urge you to prioritize a leader who understands that Chesapeake is not by itself, from anywhere from Deep Creek to Grassfield, and across our rural and suburban areas. Each part of our city is its own identity and is unique. Our schools reflect that diversity. A strong superintendent must be prepared to lead with that in mind by listening to each community, engaging in families, and making decisions that are responsive rather than uniform. I also encourage you to think carefully about how your next leader will serve students across every stage of their education. The needs of our youngest learners, who are building foundational skills and confidence, are very different from those of middle school students navigating critical transitions, and from high school students preparing for college, careers, or military service. In a city like Chesapeake, where many families are connected to service and industry, that preparation must be broad, flexible, and forward-looking. The right superintendent will ensure that every student at every level is seen, supported, and given real pathways to success. Just as important, if not more so, is how this leader will support the staff who make our schools function every single day. We often talk about teachers, and rightly so, but we cannot overlook paraprofessionals, bus drivers, cafeteria workers, custodians, instructional aides, and office staff. These individuals are the backbone of Chesapeake Public Schools. They are often the first faces students see in the morning and the steady presence that keeps schools safe, welcoming, and operational. If we are serious about student success, we must be serious about staff retention. That means choosing a superintendent who is committed not just to hiring great people, but keeping them. Retention requires more than words, it requires action. Competitive and transparent compensation matters. So does creating clear pathways for growth, whether that's leadership opportunities, professional development, or support for continuing education. It also means addressing working conditions. Staff need manageable workloads, access to the resources they need to do their jobs well, and a culture where their voices are genuinely heard, not just in surveys, but in decision-making. Simple but meaningful steps like consistent recognition, mentorship programs for new employees, and opportunities for staff to collaborate and problem solve can make a lasting difference. And importantly, retention requires trust. People stay where they feel respected, supported, and valued. Your next superintendent should be someone who shows up, listens actively, communicates clearly, and follows through. Chesapeake is a city with strong schools, dedicated families, and hard work.
Thank you.
Speaker number 2, it's your turn at the podium. Please state your name and city of residence before you begin.
Good evening. I'm Caitlin Rittenauer, and I'm a resident and educator in Chesapeake. I'm speaking tonight as president of the Chesapeake Education Association, the union for all employees in our schools. We want to say a tremendous thank you to Dr. Cotton for your years of service and as you finish your last quarter ever of school. We appreciate your leadership in Chesapeake for these past few years and all the work you have done to move our school system forward, especially in the areas of technology and innovation. We have truly been empowered by your vision, and we will carry it with us even after you begin your well-earned retirement. As we look ahead to partnering with our new superintendent, your members of the CEA are focused on what students need in a great leader. You'll hear from some more of my colleagues tonight on the qualities our students need, but I want to contextualize their remarks by reminding you of some details about our student population. Not that you don't know, but when we center our students as our focus, we keep our greatest goal in mind, the service of those students. Chesapeake Public Schools helps around 40,000 students grow each year. Our district is majority minority, with 42% white students and 58% of students of other races. 16% of our students have identified disabilities that require special education services. Almost 5% of our students are learning English as an additional language, and nearly half of our students qualify for free or reduced price meals. 11% of our students are chronically absent, missing 10% or more of school each year. I scarcely need to say that our school division today looks and feels very different from the Chesapeake Public Schools that I grew up in, and our students have much more varied needs. We ask that our venerable school board members keep that in mind as they choose our next leader. Over the weekend, I was honored to lead the delegation to our statewide convention, which was held in Norfolk. While we were there, Dr. Rose, the superintendent of Norfolk Public Schools, brought greetings. At the beginning of his remarks, he recognized the Norfolk Public Schools employees in the room and reminded us that they are all there to serve the students, just in different capacities with different titles. This statement resonated with me, as I hope it does with you and with everyone else who serves our students. Thank you.
Speaker number 3, it's your turn at the podium.
Good evening. My name is Jessica Meyer, and I'm a Chesapeake resident. Good evening, Chair Scott, Vice Chair Lamonia, school board members, Dr. Cotton, and members of Dr. Cotton's cabinet. My name is Jessica Meyer, and I'm a resident of Chesapeake. I have 2 2025 Chesapeake graduates and a current 9th grader. I also have the honor of serving our students as a teacher, luckily in reading, not in math, since I don't know how numbers work. I appreciate these 3 minutes this evening to share the qualities that I believe our students need in a new superintendent. To begin, Dr. Cotton, thank you for your leadership to Chesapeake Public Schools. You led the district through some very challenging times. Making the hard decisions is not always popular, yet you were calm and steadfast throughout your tenure. As Chesapeake Public Schools looks towards the future, the school board is charged with choosing the new leader. I had the privilege, as Caitlin did, of hearing Norfolk Superintendent Dr. Jeff Rose speak at the VEA Delegate Assembly this weekend. He made one point that resonated with me. We're all players on the same team. In Chesapeake Public Schools, we are all working toward the same goal, no matter what our job is, and that goal is the success of our students. Our students need a superintendent that invests in teachers. As Dr. Louisa Moats, one of my personal education heroes, has said, informed teachers are our best insurance against reading failure. While programs are helpful tools, programs don't teach, teachers do. Chesapeake Public Schools spent $750,000 on Magic School AI. That could have sent 2,142 teachers through letters training, which is one of the most comprehensive professional developments a teacher can receive for how to implement structured literacy. Please don't check my math, but if 2,142 teachers received that training, the reach, assuming 25 students per classroom, would be 50,000 students. Again, don't check my math. I did put it in the calculator. Our students need a superintendent who understands that while technology is a wonderful tool, it's not the whole toolbox. We are fortunate that Dr. Cotton was able to fast-track the one-to-one initiative during the pandemic, but students need less time in front of a screen and more time with paper and pencil. Over 2 consecutive board meetings, the board approved $2.5 million of technology tools to support students. Many countries, including Finland and Norway, have seen the benefit of reducing technology use in schools. The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends 2 hours of screen time per day in our elementary age students, and students are close to reaching that time during our school days. Our students need a superintendent who has a check on the pulse of instruction. Our students are facing relatively new standards in every core content area. Our teachers are overwhelmed, but strive every day to provide excellent instructions. It would benefit our students to have all the support that comes in the building to be a relief for the staff. In a building where district departments can easily communicate and collaborate, it would benefit our students if the most if the new superintendent expected communication and collaboration among the departments. Everyone in the district would benefit from clear guidance and expectations. Finally, our students need a superintendent that they see. From being in the buildings during the instructional day to attending the Southeastern Virginia Music Games, which is the band competition hosted in September that features all of our Chesapeake High School marching bands, to being in the audience for school plays, or from watching a few matches of the first robotics competition. Students feel.
Speaker number 4, it's your turn at the podium. Please state your name and city of residence before you begin.
Hi, good evening. Amanda Lambert, Chesapeake resident, mom to a Chesapeake sophomore and a Chesapeake teacher. First, please allow me to congratulate Dr. Cotton on a well-deserved retirement. To paraphrase one of my former commanding officers, even the best deserve the chance to go home and put their feet up from time to time. When I was asked what the number one thing I would want to see in a new superintendent would be, the thing that instantly came to mind was a continued sense of servant leadership, a term that I was first introduced to during my time in the Navy. Developed by former AT&T executive Robert Greenleaf, servant leadership is the philosophy that a leader's primary goal is to serve employees and other stakeholders with efforts to focus on empathy, empowerment, and stewardship in order to build and support higher, more ethical performance in the workplace. I don't have to tell you that teacher burnout is a real problem. Professional educators are being asked now more than ever to do more with less. Less funding, less public support, and with less time, leading to less than desirable outcomes for students. Therefore, positive self-efficacy, or a belief in one's ability to successfully handle professional tasking, is critical to not only counter burnout, but create positive learning environments where students can learn, thrive, and grow. According to the Concordia University Irvine Student Leadership Institute, servant leadership in administrators is ideal for school administrators to embrace within their assigned school sites and district-wide, as the benefits of this leadership method reach far beyond reducing burnout and fostering self-efficacy among teachers and staff. Oscar Macias, Assistant Superintendent of Instructional Services at Burbank United School District, wrote about the importance of servant leadership, citing its benefits to both employees and the community at large. He cited the ways that servant leadership fosters a sense of trust and community among stakeholders in a time of increasing polarization through modeling ethical behavior, collaborating, empowering, prioritizing student and staff needs, and community engagement. Through servant leadership strategies, administrators have the real potential and opportunity to create resilient learners and inclusive and educational environments that will shape today's students into tomorrow's leaders. In conclusion, to quote Simon Sinek, leadership is not about being in charge, it is about taking care of those in your charge. And the community looks forward to having a superintendent who continues to build upon the servant leadership foundation that has firmly been established in Chesapeake. Thank you for your time.
Speaker number 5, it's your turn at the podium. Please state your name and city of residence before you begin.
Elizabeth Joy Davis, Chesapeake resident, Chesapeake mom, and Chesapeake teacher. Once again, thank you to Dr. Cotton for his service to the students of Chesapeake. I am trying to get like you one day. I hope you enjoy all of your time with your family and just the opportunity to take a rest. In order to speak on what I hope the future of Chesapeake Public Schools looks like, I need to talk about the past. I am a proud graduate of Indian River High School, class of 2007. My graduating class featured a diversity that was typical of Chesapeake at the time. We were Black, white, Hispanic, and Asian. We were straight and queer. We were Muslim, Jewish, and Christian. Some of us had a little more in the bank than others. And yet, one thing tied us all together. We were Fry's babies. He believed in all of us. He saw the potential in all of us. And once we graduated, we reached those heights that he knew that we could. We grew up into naval officers, pediatricians, general contractors, retail managers, cybersecurity analysts, and best of all, teachers who came back to Chesapeake to educate the next generation. Many of my classmates continue to live here with their own children. I can't wait to watch Chesapeake continue to be a place where each and every child can thrive. A place where, from the superintendent down, we remember that every student starts off as someone's baby, someone's pride and joy that they lend us for 13 years so they can be the future of our fair city. Thank you.
Speaker number 6, it's your turn at the podium. Please state your name and city of residence before you begin.
Good evening, board members, Superintendent Cotton, administrative staff, parents, and community stakeholders. My name is Dr. Charlotte Worley, and I reside in Chesapeake, and I speak tonight as a member of the Chesapeake Education Association. First and foremost, let it be known that we are perfectly happy with Dr. Jared Cotton's leadership. And while we celebrate his new endeavor, we are sad to see him go. Each of my colleagues has provided valuable information that the Chesapeake Education Association believes are characteristics of a great superintendent who can meet the needs of our students and help them to thrive. Tonight, I close with a summary of some research-based initiatives for seeking a great superintendent. So what makes a good superintendent? What makes a great superintendent? Who will ensure that students have the best opportunity to thrive and to grow to be healthy, successful, contributing adults? Research has shown that the effective school superintendent of today and tomorrow must be principled, empathetic, visionary, and who can lead by facilitating and actively encouraging the development and inclusion of others. The research supports 4 critical characteristic skills, Brewer 2012. Number 1, strong communication and relationship building skills. Nearly every element of the superintendent's job description requires high-quality communication skills. Superintendents interface with the public, parents, division staff, regulatory bodies, and all of them require transparency, inclusivity, and ethics in communication and relationship building. These skills are required in the successful superintendent. 2, visionary thinkers and problem solvers. Superintendents must be prepared to make a positive impact on all of their communities. Visionary thinkers know how to use the available resources to support systems to create and maintain positive momentum. The same is true for a great superintendent. Number 3, flexibility in dynamic environments. During their term, superintendents must contend with flux. Change is inevitable, and good superintendents know how to manage it. There is a science of managing change. Superintendents should know it. Number 4, and probably most important, is emotional intelligence and empathy. Superintendents serve a large, diverse constituent group. Superintendents' policies and activities impact people, and those people vary widely. Great superintendents must always be mindful of the impact of their decisions and the social and justice implications. In closing, we know your decision is tough and you have big shoes to fill. We need a superintendent who has refined communication, relationship building skills, who can effectively manage change, who is a visionary thinker, and who can do the job with empathy, integrity, and celebration.
Thank you, Ms. Worley. Thank you so much. We appreciate all of your feedback tonight on the next superintendent. Hope you all have a good evening. We will now consider the consent agenda. I'll entertain a motion for approval. Moved by Mr. McCormick. Is there a second? Seconded by Ms. Swigert. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. All opposed? Dr. Smith.
Motion carries with all board members present voting yes.
Moving on to the information agenda, the only item this evening is the monthly financial report. Mrs. Glod.
Thank you, Chair Scott. We have included the March 2026 financial projections in the board document for tonight's meeting. At this time, revenue and projected expenditures remain within expected ranges. For March, total realized revenue was approximately $58 million. This includes around $31 million from the state, about $25 million from the city, and the remaining funds from other local sources and the federal government. A large impact aid receipt of $2 million was realized. Total projected expenditures are about $56 million. When we include encumbrances, the total projection increases to $83 million. As for enrollment, the preliminary estimate of March ADM is 39,200, which is approximately 700 less than planned for the year. This will result in a state revenue shortfall of approximately $9.5 million, which will be reflected in final year-end revenue. Since this is not a finalized figure, this estimate is subject to change. The final March ADM will be available in May. With that said, year-to-date expenditure savings, including vacancies, are currently offsetting the anticipated revenue decline. We continue to closely monitor spending and will curtail spending if necessary to ensure expenditures do not exceed appropriated or actual revenue. This concludes my financial report for this evening, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
I don't see any questions. Thank you, Mrs. Glad. We will move on to the action agenda. The only item is the upcoming VSBA opportunity. Dr. Smith.
Thank you very much. I would like to share an opportunity with the board. The Virginia School Boards Association will hold its annual school law conference on June the 5th, 2026 at the Richmond Marriott Short Pump. If any board member wishes to attend this conference, please raise your hand. Seeing none, this concludes my item.
We will now move on to the superintendent's report. Dr. Cotton.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just as a reminder, tomorrow is an asynchronous remote learning day for 21-26. Teachers, I hope you all are ready for your virtual asynchronous day tomorrow. Yep, right answer. So we're planning for that tomorrow. Just want to put that out as a reminder. We put out several reminders to our families to include expectations for that day. So I know that all that's been sent out already. Want to remind everybody that the retirement ceremony is Thursday, May 7th, 2026 at Grassfield High School. Starts at 6:30 p.m. You all are invited to my retirement party that evening. Would also like to remind you that we do have the spring art shows at Taiwan Community College Chesapeake campus. Our elementary students are April 15th through the 26th. Our secondary students are May 1st through the 13th. I do want to say a special thank you to our mayor and city council for the key to the city, which I received at the state of the city, which was exciting and quite the surprise. Haven't figured out what it opens yet, but looking forward to but that was quite an honor and it's quite a surprise. So I just wanted to put that out there that I do appreciate that special recognition. At this point, I'd like to move on to our superintendent spotlight tonight as we come back from a relaxing spring break and head toward the final months of the school year. I'm excited to share some of the great things that have been happening in our school district. April is the month of the military child, and last Wednesday, schools across the district celebrated by participating in Purple Up Day. Students and staff put on their purple attire to show support for their classmates and their families who are connected to the armed forces. Purple symbolizes the blending of all the colors of the nation's military branches, and it was nice to see so many of our students and staff show their support. We're also looking forward to hosting our 5th annual Operation Military Families event on April 25th at Grassfield High School as another way to salute the service of our military-connected students. One of the reasons that Chesapeake is an amazing place to be is the continued support from our community partners. Recently, our friends at Dollar Tree donated boxes and boxes of assorted arts and crafts supplies for our educational foundation. All employees were invited to stop by the warehouse annex to load up on these free materials for their classrooms and schools during the special shopping event. From pens to crafting vinyl, our teachers got to take home plenty of supplies. Thank you to everyone at Dollar Tree for your generous donation and for your support for the students and staff in our district. Our community partners also played a large part in Deep Creek Elementary's annual STEAM Day. Just before spring break, the Hornets participated in a day full of fast-paced learning as community partners and curriculum leaders led science, technology, engineering, art, and math activities. Presenters included Tidewater Community College, the Quilters Guild, Chesapeake Master Gardeners, Back Bay Amateur Astronomers, and many more. We are so grateful to our community for helping bring STEAM to life in our classrooms. I wanted to give a shout out to our Power of the Peak honorees for the month of March. Congratulations to Audrey Gregory, head custodian at Chesapeake Career Center, Carlton Howell, math teacher at Grassfield High School, and Angie Napier, principal of Western Ranch Primary, for being our well-deserved winners in the support, teach, and lead categories. We are looking forward to celebrating in April and May, so don't forget to nominate a deserving staff member for the Power of the Peak on our employee recognitions page. It's always fun to surprise them at work. To close tonight, I'd like to take a few minutes tonight to thank the members of the school board who were able to join me at the annual State of the Schools breakfast. I was joined on stage by several guests that helped highlight the important work we are doing here in Chesapeake in alignment with our Empower 2030 strategic plan and our 5 goal areas representing our learners, our people, our operations, our well-being, and our community. I'd like to thank the Chesapeake Public Schools Educational Foundation for hosting and for all the sponsors and attendees whose generous support makes our work possible. I'd also like to thank the foundation for pulling off quite the surprise. It was an honor to receive the 2026 Pride of the Peak Award, and they did such a good job on that, I will tell you. They actually created a fake video and everything, so I had no idea that I was going to win. So anyway, I took care of that afterwards. But anyway, teasing, but it was very well appreciated. I had no idea it was coming, but I was so grateful for all the support that you all have given me and the district during my time here. So if members of our community were unable to attend the State of the Schools breakfast, it is available in its entirety on our YouTube channel. And to give you a little teaser, we have some highlights, so take a look. And our purpose that remains to inspire, engage, and empower all learners.
We won't just face the challenges of the future, we'll be the ones solving them. And it's truly shaped who we are as students and leaders.
Everyone here is like family, and we look forward to watching it grow from its deep roots.
We must recruit and retain high-quality employees.
Dr. Cotton, you are the pride of the peak.
Because if there's one thing I've learned as superintendent, it's everyone's responsibility to ensure that the state of our schools remains strong. Thank you again. It's been the honor of a lifetime to work with you. Thank you. Thank you. That completes my spotlight for this evening.
Aw, I was kind of wishing you were going to complete your spotlight by taking back your desire to retire. But thank you, Dr. Cotton. And on behalf of the board, I'd like to wish you a very happy birthday because you will be celebrating this week. And this is your last birthday celebrating as superintendent of Chesapeake Public Schools. And also happy birthday to Elijah Colon. He celebrated earlier this month. Next on our agenda this evening is board member items. Does any board member have items to bring before the group? Mr. Lamonia.
Madam Chair, before we adjourn this evening, I move that the board reconvene in closed session under Section 2.2-3711, subsection A1 of the Code of Virginia, to continue our earlier discussion on personnel matters regarding candidates for the position of superintendent.
Is there a second? Oh, man, I always get confused when I hear two at the same time, but I think I heard Colon first. So seconded by Mr. Colon. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. All opposed? Dr. Smith.
Motion carries with all board members voting yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ms. Huddle?
Yes. Let's turn this one. I had the privilege as a VEA retired member of attending the first 2 days of VEA convention last week, or this past weekend. I'd like to give a shout out to the Oscar Smith High School Junior ROTC unit for their presentation of the colors. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Huddle. We are now in closed session. To bring us back into open session.
Chair Scott, I move that the record shows that the only items discussed in the closed meeting were those specifically cited in the motion to convene into the closed meeting and those lawfully exempted from statutory meeting requirements.
Is there a second? Seconded by Mr. McCormick. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. All opposed? Dr. Smith?
Motion carries with all board members present voting yes.
I call this meeting adjourned.